Hello there, welcome Genesis Models. My name is Boy Waldron and welcome to another inbox review, which is going to be of this one. It is Meng Models. It is a nice King Tiger, the German heavy tank. It is the Henschel turret, it's not the Porsche one, and it's around about the £29.99 mark in the Genesis Models store. Right, it's in 1/35 scale. It was new tooled in 2017. So we've got a nice bit of box art going on here. We've even got some nice AK paint callouts as well. You know, a little bit of information on the side. Right, inside, you know, it does seem to be well packaged, but I will just sort of show you, right? You know, the box needs to be a little bit bigger. Hopefully, as you can see, it sort of has to squash all the pieces down, so hopefully we've got no problems there. But let's take a nice look inside. With our first pieces here, we have the turret, right? Now it is very sort of plain, but it has got like a nice texture to it, right? However, you know, it doesn't have that Zimmerit texture to it, which is a bit sort of a little bit misleading, because I know on their website and the photos, that their media photos they release, they show it with Zimmerit on it, but they don't explain that it's like the decals that you can buy separately to put on there, so just bear that one in mind. But yeah, without the Zimmerit, it's got a nice sort of texture to it. There's lots of things that sort of go on there. You know, here is a bit more of our turret just in there, you know, looking sort of pretty quite crisp as well. Moving along, we then have again, you know, we have this sort of nice texture all around it, little bits of detail, but a lot of the detail gets put on to this. So I mean, we have towing bits just here again. That does look quite good actually, just on there. You can even see, you know, all this, the ring, the teeth that are sticking out on there as well for the turret ring. You know, apart from that, I mean, ejector pin marks, I mean, we do have them, but they do look like they're going to be in those places, which isn't going to be a big deal. I know you could probably see these kind of ejector pin marks where they really stick up. Again, it's on the back, you're not going to see it. Yeah, you're going to have to probably trim that up. Coming into some of the detailed areas, here is the top part of our turret area as well. Yeah, I mean, you can sort of see nice surface detail on there. They should take a wash really nice on there. We've got the main gun, right, which is partly all one piece, but then, you know, we got two halves to sort of glue together at the back part of that. Right, we'll just flip this over and have a look a little bit more detail. Right, I suppose all these little detail bits just on here, as you can see, it is very crisp and well detailed. You can see all these raised bolts and where they're due and everything, and there is, as you can see, quite a nice bit of detail in there, looking pretty nice and crisp, right, which is kind of what you expect from Meng. They are a good manufacturer of armed vehicles. The actual hull part, we have a nice bit of detail that's on the underside as well, right, which in some cases isn't necessary because it's on the underside, but it's nice to see that it's there. Bit of detail where they're running road wheels and that go, right, and I'm not seeing any eject pin marks underneath here, which sometimes you do get. Looking pretty good. We do have all our road wheels here, so let's have a good look at these. Now it looks like we've got 4 sprues that are exactly the same, so I'll just get the one out just to sort of show you the detail on these. So what we have is these big whopping tracks, right, which we seem to have this about 4 big slabs of just lung. This is one of these things, I do prefer it when they are like lots of single tracks and we bring them all together. You can have it flowing and moving in the position you want, and I do personally prefer that. However, with this one, you know, we do have it all, a lot of it in these big lung pieces. Again, some people might prefer that, but apart from that, you know, looking well detailed. Ejector pin marks, can't see any on the tracks, which is good. Our road wheels, right, as you can see, they've got nice bags of detail in there with all the nuts and bolts and everything going on with there, and looking actually rather good. Another set of duplicate sprues here, but you know, this is like the drive wheels and idle wheels. Again, I won't get them all out just to sort of speed things up, but same level of detail on there. We've also got another sprue here, which is like the skirts. Again, same level of detail. What we also get, we do get some clear parts, which, right, if we sort of rotate them a little bit in the light, I mean, you can see they look quite clear. If I put them up into the light, right, I'm not seeing any sort of nasty sort of cobwebby effects or scratches or anything like that, so they should be quite cool. You do also get sort of, you know, a nice bit of a freebie, well, sort of a freebie of some nice miniatures, two nice figures to go in here with this. Looking at the faces, I mean, we are seeing eyes, mouth, nose, you know, it does seem to be all there. You know, not too shabby. You know, the uniforms do look nice and crisp as well, so they should go in there rather well. Oh, a little bit of flash just on this arm here, but I don't think that's going to be a big detail. Oh, then again, it's not an arm, it's part of the sprue. Yeah, it's that should be fine, but there's still a little bit around the piece as well, so you know, a little bit of work to do on that, but no big deal. Nice little freebie. Photo etch, we do get some photo etch for this, and actually it's a rather nice bit of photo etch as well, right? Should really sort of spice things up. It's a nice big fret, nice and thin, so good and easy to cut, and well, good detail looking on there, as well as a couple of decals, which, you know, no big deal with the decals. Armored vehicles, you don't really have to worry too much about them. Then we have our instructions and markings. So with these we have markings. We've got 4 different markings with this. Let's bring you in closer on the top cam. First one, you know, we've got this kind of 3-color camo pattern that is on here, looking rather good. The second one, same sort of thing, you know, same kind of camo pattern, but it's slightly different, right? Mainly like the gun is a little bit different. And then we have our third one here where you've got all those little spots all over it as well, so you've got those differences. And on the back you've even got one where you've got that sort of whitewash all over it, which should be rather cool. So nice choice of markings there. The instructions, let's take a look and see what we've got here. Nice description, sort of standard paper. It's in black and white, right? And let's just move through all. Oh, there's quite a nice bit of information actually in here, if you want to read up about it. Normal sort of start, you know, getting the hull going, adding all these pieces, the road wheels, suspension, all that kind of stuff, the back part of the hull, adding all the little bits and bobs to bring all the detail together. Looking pretty sort of standard. Now here's the tracks. Yes, it is sort of showing you how these sort of go together. Do you know what? I kind of feel like it might be a little bit tricky, right? Because I know when you sort of attach them all together and you've got this kind of long, sort of wobbly set of tracks, you can spray them up, you can weather them and everything. But these almost seem like the style in which you have to sort of glue them actually onto the road wheels, because as you can see, you know, it's fixed, and that could make things a little bit tricky. So not my cup of tea. Maybe a bit of a mess about with that, you know, so sort of bear that in mind and just try and get around it as best as you can. Top part of the hull starts coming together and all the little bits of details, showing you where photo etch is as well, which is rather nice. And again, we're just putting all these detail bits in. Pretty standard actually. It does seem to get you there. You do seem to be able to see where everything's going. And yeah, no biggie. We're moving on to the turret now. where, you know, it does give us the colour call outs and where everything's going. It does look pretty sort of a nice standard, you know, armoured vehicle to build, not very sort of hard, unlike aircrafts, and there you go, all done. And then we've got some colour call outs at the back, which again, you know, Meng does sort of support AK and does all the colour matches and everything. So all in all, I would say, you know what, it's actually a pretty good kit, because really it's only about £30, so it's not like an overpriced kit. It's actually a decently priced kit. You know, it is of a King Tiger. They do the Porsche version as well. If you want the Porsche turret, you can, I think the Porsche turret has a Zimmerit on it or something, but you can you know, get around the Zimmerit with either buying the decals, or you make them, or templates and stuff, which is rather good. So yeah, I'm going to give this a big thumbs up, because it is looking good. I wouldn't mind building one myself, as always. Whenever I get these out, I always want to build one, but yeah, definitely a big thumbs up, well recommended. And apart from that, hopefully you've learned something from this, and hopefully you wetting your lips whether or not to get one of these kits. So as always, until next time, my name is Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.